Hello there, you're with NDTV. I'm Mahasuditi. Our top story at the moment, the BJP seems to have virtually launched its election campaign for 2024 parliamentary elections from Bihar, where Union Home Minister Amit Shah, in a rally in Purnia in a northeast part of the state, targeted Chief Minister Nitish Kumar for what he described as stabbing the BJP in the back and forming a government with Lalu Prasad Yadav, a symbol of Jungle Raj.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी जिंदाबाद, Amit Shah जिंदाबाद.
Amit Shah launching the BJP's election campaign in Bihar at what was called a Jan Bhavna meeting with a blistering attack on Chief Minister Nitish Kumar.
जब लालू जी सरकार में जुड़ गए हैं और नीतीश जी लालू की गोदी में बैठे हैं, तब यहाँ जो डर का माहौल खड़ा हुआ है, मैं आपको कहने आया हूं, ये सीमावर्ती जिले हिंदुस्तान का हिस्सा है, किसी को डरने की जरूरत नहीं है। भाजपा को धोखा देकर लालू की गोद में बैठकर नीतीश जी ने स्वार्थ और सत्ता की राजनीति का जो परिचय दिया है, उसके खिलाफ ब्यूगल फूंकने की शुरुआत भी यही सीमावर्ती जिलों से, यही बिहार की भूमि से शुरुआत हुई।
गदा का स्मृति चिन्ह माननीय यशस्वी गृह मंत्री जी को।
Amit Shah's first appearance in Bihar since the BJP was ousted out of power in the state has been picked strategically.
नीतीश बाबू प्रधानमंत्री बन सकते हैं क्या?
Polarization has helped the BJP in the past in Seemanchal,
बन सकते हैं क्या?
a region where at least 3 constituencies have a heavy Muslim population. Besides his criticism of Nitish and Lalu, Amit Shah also attributed Prime Minister Modi with credit for many schemes and projects.
इस बार चुनाव में ना लालू की पार्टी आएगी, ना आपकी पार्टी आएगी, बिहार में खिलेगा तो केवल मोदी जी का कमल खिलेगा, कमल खिलेगा। ये पूर्णिया में हवाई अड्डा बन गया, लगभग 12 जिलों के लोगों को बागडोगरा या पटना नहीं जाना पड़ेगा, यहां से सस्ते हवाई जहाज में बैठकर दिल्ली और मुंबई जा सकते। अरे ताली बजाओ भाई, हवाई अड्डा आप लोगों के लिए बना है।
उन्होंने क्या बोला कि बिहार को स्पेशल।
While Nitish and Lalu have not reacted to Amit Shah's comments, Tejasvi Yadav attacked Shah.
इस पे कोई चर्चा नहीं की गई कि बिहार को विशेष राज्य का दर्जा देंगे कि नहीं देंगे। रोजगार पे नहीं बात की, महंगाई पे नहीं बात की। बात क्या किया? हम तो पहले कह रहे थे ना, आएंगे तो झूठों का माहौल गड़बड़ करने के लिए आएंगे और कहेंगे कि जंगल राज है।
Amit Shah is expected to review the political situation with party's legislators and MPs over the next couple of days. And there is speculation that he may invite Chirag Paswan as an ally once again.
भारत माता की। अमित शाह जिंदाबाद।
With Manish Kumar in Bihar, Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV.
Let's move on now. The Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena was today dealt a big blow with the Bombay High Court granting permission to the Uddhav Thackeray-led Shiv Sena to organize a Dussehra rally in Mumbai's iconic Shivaji Park. The court rejected the Shinde faction's request to not decide on the petition until the dispute over the claim of the party was settled. Let's move on now. A BJP leader's son who owns a resort in Yamkeshwar block of Pori district and his 2 employees were arrested today for allegedly killing a 19-year-old woman who had been missing for the last 2 days, as per the police. The woman worked as a receptionist at the resort. Pulkit Arya is the son of Vinod Arya, a BJP leader from Haridwar and a former chairman of the Uttarakhand Mati Kala board. In fact, the police say that Pulkit Arya, the resort owner, manager Saurabh Bhaskar and assistant manager Ankit Gupta were arrested after they confessed to having killed the woman and thrown her body into the Chila Canal. The ASP said that initially they tried to mislead the police, but when the interrogation went on sternly, they confessed to the crime. A team has been sent to search for the woman's body in the canal, as per the police, adding that the case was cracked within 24 hours of being transferred from the revenue police to the regular police. A missing complaint had been lodged at a revenue police outpost after the girl went missing, as she was not found in her room by her parents on Monday morning.
ये बहुत दुखद घटना है, बहुत जघन्य अपराध है और पुलिस अपना काम कर रही है। गिरफ्तारियों को लेकर पुलिस ने आगे सारे काम किए हैं और ऐसी जो जघन्य घटनाएं हैं उस पर जितनी कठोर कार्रवाई हो सकती है उस पर कठोर से कठोर कार्रवाई होगी। अपराधी चाहे कोई भी हो, किसी भी सीमा तक जाकर हम इसको पूरी तरह से जो न्याय है उसके सिद्धांत पर चलते हुए अपना काम करेंगे, पुलिस अपना काम करेगी।
Let's move on now to some political stories related to the Congress party first. Ashok Gehlot is all set to file his nominations on the 26th after Rahul Gandhi made it clear that he would not be contesting and no one from the Gandhi family would be participating in the nomination process for the chief of the party. But the Congress is now having to issue warnings to its own members to not take sides in the upcoming elections. Sunil Prabhu reports.
The Rajasthan Chief Minister in the pilgrimage town of Shirdi in Maharashtra. He had flown here from Kerala after meeting Rahul Gandhi on the trail of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, hoping to persuade Rahul to contest for the post of president. That mission having failed, Mr. Gehlot now seems reconciled to contesting for the top job.
मुझे रिक्वेस्ट करनी थी उनको, जब सब प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी ये प्रस्ताव पास कर रही है कि आपको अध्यक्ष बनना चाहिए, तो फिर आप उसी रूप में आप स्वीकार कीजिए। वो कह रहे हैं हमने एक बार फैसला कर लिया कि एक बार कोई गांधी फैमिली का व्यक्ति हम उम्मीदवार नहीं करेंगे।
Mr. Gehlot also seems reconciled to giving up his demand for holding on to the post of Rajasthan Chief Minister, after Rahul Gandhi made it clear that the Congress would like to honour its commitment to one man, one post. Speaking in Delhi, senior Congress leader Prithviraj Chavan further underscored the need for Mr. Gehlot to step down as Chief Minister, saying the Congress needs a full-time president.
कई लोगों ने चलाया कि गांधी फैमिली के खिलाफ है, वगैरह बिल्कुल नॉनसेंस था। मैंने खुद इतने करीब से काम किया, लेकिन मेरी सिर्फ इतनी गुजारिश थी, मैं नहीं समझता कि कोई उसका विरोध करेगा कि भाई पूरे समय से काम करिए। कोई अध्यक्ष होना चाहिए, मिलना जुलना होना चाहिए, लोगों राज्यों से बड़े पैसे खर्च करके लोग आते हैं, कोई मिलता नहीं, वो ना हो। ये बात जो दोनों बातें सोनिया जी ने स्वीकार की है।
The Congress had claimed this would be a free and fair election, with the High Command staying neutral. But after one of the party spokespersons took potshots at Shashi Tharoor, the head of the Congress communication wing, Jairam Ramesh, issued an advisory cautioning spokespersons and leaders not to take any sides and remain equidistant from all.
Thank you. Thank you.
With Bureau Input, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
Thank you.
Well, and India today warned its citizens who are headed to Canada or in Canada, as well as students flying to the country, about a sharp increase in hate crimes, sectarian violence and anti-India activities, and urged them to remain vigilant. The advisory also said that Indian nationals and students from India and Canada may also register with the High Commission of India in Ottawa or consulates of India in Toronto and Vancouver through their respective websites or through the Mother portal. And this because they say that registration would enable the High Commission and the consulates to better connect with the Indian citizens in Canada in the event of any requirement or emergency. A day after the Popular Front of India, the PFI leaders were arrested in a massive countrywide raid, violence and arson marked a dawn-to-dusk strike called by the organisation. The Kerala High Court had to step in and ordered action. Meanwhile, in neighbouring Karnataka, 14 people were arrested following raids by the National Investigation Agency. The State Home Minister has now said that the process to ban the PFI has begun.
Violence in many parts of Kerala. as PFI announced a 12-hour hartal protesting a crackdown by the top anti-terror agency NIA starting on Thursday. Government buses were targeted in capital Thiruvananthapuram, Kochi, Kollam and other places. This driver is extra cautious. 2 police personnel were injured in Kollam as protesters took on them. At Kannur, protesters clashed with local shopkeepers who refused to close their premises.
3 പേരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അവർ ബൈക്കിൽ ബസ്സിനെ പിന്തുടർന്ന് വന്ന് ബാക്കിലെ ഗ്ലാസും കൂടെ എറിഞ്ഞു തകർത്തു. അതിനുശേഷം ബസ്സിനെ ഓവർടേക്ക് ചെയ്ത് മുന്നോട്ട് വന്ന് മുദ്രാവാക്യം വിളിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഓടിപ്പോവാണുണ്ടായത്.
The Kerala High Court intervened on its own and called the hartal illegal as it didn't comply with the mandatory week-long prior notice. The court directed police to prevent destruction of property and protect public utility vehicles.
Kerala, a stronghold of the PFI, accounts for 19 of the 45 arrests made across the country. While Karnataka plans to ban PFI, the outfit calls these arrests vindictive. Call it politically motivated or based on evidence, the violence, many say, isn't helping PFI's cause. With SP Babu in Thiruvananthapuram and Suresh in Chennai, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Well, and schools were shut in parts of Uttar Pradesh and Gurugram, where private and corporate offices were asked to tell their employees to work from home a day after incessant rains in the national capital region. Parts of Delhi were also flooded today. In fact, this was waterlogging that was witnessed. Interestingly, in a forecast for this week, the Met Department had predicted dry weather conditions, which would trigger the withdrawal of monsoons.
Roads became rivers, cars were stranded, traffic crawled for hours. As rain brought the Delhi NCR down to its knees. By Thursday evening, after very heavy rain all day, the NCR was choked with traffic, and many abandoned their vehicles and walked home in the rain. In order to decongest traffic, the Gurugram administration advised employees of private offices to work from home and shut all educational institutions today. While this did reduce traffic snarls considerably, many roads were waterlogged completely, and vehicles had to drive long stretches in knee-deep water in Millennium City.
हर बार यही हालात रहते हैं पानी के.
अच्छा, पानी जमा हो जाता है तो
पानी
कितना
जमा
समय
हो
लगता है
जाता है
निकलने में यहाँ से?
भैया लगा लो कम से कम 36 अराउंड आवर लगते हैं. कम से कम
लग जाते हैं.
ये जूते चप्पल उतार के सर ऐसे ही भीगते हुए जाते हैं सर.
Just after a few heavy spells of rainfall, this is the condition of the millennial city. It is not just a health hazard, it can cause accident, but it also impacts the businesses that are here in Gurugram and also dents the image of the city. And this has been happening year after year without much changes made by the municipal corporation of Gurgaon or the other authorities that are responsible for solving this issue.
Similar scenes were witnessed in Delhi and Noida. Even the district magistrate's office in Noida had knee-deep water. While there is no alert from the Met office for heavy rains over the next few days in the NCR, even heavier rain is expected tomorrow.
Now Uttarakhand we have given the maximum alert 3 days orange color. Today 23rd, 24th, 25 we have given very heavy rainfall warning over Uttarakhand. And tomorrow the rain may increase over West Uttar Pradesh. There will be some reduction today. Delhi also we have given today only moderate. And from 25th onward, mainly 25th night onward, all over these plains covering Haryana, Rajasthan, Delhi, North Madhya Pradesh and plains of West Uttar Pradesh will be reduced. There will be hardly any rain.
The fresh spells of rain just before the withdrawal of monsoon from the national capital region have helped cover the deficit somewhat on paper. It has brought suffering for residents and commuters and exposed civic bodies yet again. With camera person Ashok Mahale, Akshay Dongre for NDTV.
Welcome back. Iran protests spread as internet services are curbed. Protests over 22-year-old Mahsa Amini's death has claimed lives in Iran now. Meanwhile, Iran's president, who is currently in New York for the UNGA, refused to do an interview with CNN's veteran journalist Christiane Amanpour after she refused to wear a headscarf.
The death in custody of a 22-year-old Iranian woman that has sparked widespread protests must be steadfastly investigated, Iran's president has said, even as he lamented what he claimed were Western double standards on human rights.
فوت اون مطرحه آیا قصور یا تقصیری انجام شده یا نشده حتما باید بررسی بشه. من در اولین فرصتی که برام امکان داشت با خانواده ایشون تماس گرفتم و به ایشون اطمینان دادم که مسئله رو ما دنبال میکنیم. چه مجامع بیرون از کشور.
Protesters have been met with an intense crackdown from the government, resulting in violence that has left over a dozen dead. Access to social media apps such as WhatsApp and Instagram remained restricted in Iran. Meanwhile, the US Treasury and State Departments announced new sanctions on Iran's morality police. Washington has been piling sanctions on Tehran since former US President Donald Trump withdrew from the Iranian nuclear deal in 2018. Significantly, veteran journalist Christiane Amanpour tweeted that an interview with the Iranian president was scrapped after he insisted she wear a headscarf, the focus of major protests in the country. She posted a picture of herself without a headscarf, sitting in front of an empty chair where Raisi would have been. As the latest protests spread, Elon Musk said his satellite internet system Starlink would seek an exception to sanctions to make its service available in Iran in an apparent attempt to boost access to outside information in the country.
Protests on this scale centering women's rights in Iran are extraordinary. The primary demand is not an end to the hijab, but to its imposition. These protests have grown into an open challenge to the Iranian government, with some Iranians calling for the downfall of the Islamic Republic itself. They are the most serious demonstrations since 2019, when protests erupted over a government hike in the price of gasoline. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.
Well, and Russia's ambassador to India, Denis Alipov, has said that the Western leaders have cherry-picked the statement by the Prime Minister in his meeting with President Putin in Samarkand. He said that the West chooses to ignore the reiteration by India that the friendship with Russia is unbreakable.
Long and clear, loud and clear reiteration by the Prime Minister of the commitment to maintain and expand close and trustworthy relations with Russia. He precisely said the unbreakable friendship between our nations. So those Western leaders who quoted the Prime Minister's remarks on Ukraine at the ongoing UN General Assembly, in my view, conveniently pick out parts of that conversation that suit their rhetoric, shying away from what they don't like.
Meanwhile, a large number of Russians are rushing to book a one-way ticket out of the country while they still can, after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a partial mobilization of military reservists for the war in Ukraine. Now, these are the pictures that have come in, which clearly give an idea of the people, especially the youngsters who are now willing to leave the country because of the fact that partial mobilization has been ordered by President Putin in an executive order, which means that people between the ages of about 18 to 65 will have to volunteer for military work. Now, Dow has stumbled into a bear market territory. It has set a new low for the year. That's what experts now are fearing, or a global recession mounting there. Let me go across to Sakshi for more details. Sakshi, break this down for us.
That's right, Maha. US stocks falling sharply as investors continue to worry about even more rate hikes from the Federal Reserve that could land the US economy in a recession. Now, for our viewers to understand that bear markets occur when prices in a market decline by more than 20%, are often accompanied by negative investor sentiment and declining economic prospects. So bear markets can be cyclical or long-term in nature. But for now, what's worrying is, of course, that experts believe that global recession fears are now mounting.